This feels very weird. It's Romania Black, and we're on the manga After the Revolution that was recommended to me to watch after the movie and after the series. So here we are. Now, I was sent by a patron the manga volumes, Deluxe Volume 1 and 2 of Revolutionary Girl Utena, and I'm leaving this weekend to go to the national speech tournament for the team that I coach. So I'm planning on taking those with me to read along the way. So there's going to be that. So I do want to do like a live stream. I like doing summer live streams on my channel, and I do want to do a live stream about Revolutionary Girl Utena because I think it would be, I'm either a glutton for punishment or it will be a fun time to have a dialogue with people about the series and talk about it. So we'll see. I'll plan those out probably around the May update video on the channel to tell you all when that's going to be. But that's my plan, is to read those 2 volumes and then be able to talk about them alongside the series as a whole. And hopefully that will give me some more time to process because, you know, when you get really worked up reading something and then you let it kind of like sit for a while. I had to do that with Berserk. I had to take like a couple weeks off to get, when I was reading Berserk, to calm myself down. And then once I did, I didn't have as strong a reaction against something. It's just, you know, it's not great for the content, for a content creator, when you go back and you're like, oh, hey, that video where I was really frustrated. I don't feel that way now. Because I have mellowed a bit on Revolutionary Girl Utena, and the movie helped out tremendously. I really liked the movie. I had gone into that movie being so afraid that it was going to be just a recap movie, and I was like, and it turned out to be very much not like that at all, in the best way. So by the end of the movie, I was like, oh, I'm on board with this 100%. So it was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed it. But now we have this manga volume, so I'm really curious to see what it is. It came out in 2017, I believe, like for the 20th anniversary for the series. So we'll see how that goes. I'm really excited to see what the 20th anniversary would give us. And is it going to follow after the movie timeline? Is it going to follow after the series timeline? Both? A different timeline? I don't know what to expect. I do have a comment from episode 37, and I do have a comment from episode 38 that I want to talk about before we get started. And then any other comments from the movie or from the manga or from the last episode that I feel are worth mentioning in the live stream, I will keep in a document and wait till the live stream to address them. So we'll see how that goes. But Indie Dreamer for episode 37 says, for what I know, the Shadow Girl's part in episode 37 is also a commentary from Ikuhara about the relationship between Anthy and Utena. Because everybody was supposed to put Anthy and Utena in a romantic relationship, even Chihito Saito, the Utena's mangaka. So he couldn't put a kiss in the series between them, and that's why the romance is very subtle. So yeah, the two Shadow Girls were trying to kiss, but then in that episode during the fake play, they were never allowed to because, you know, society and the studio. Which people were talking about that in the comments, and that's one thing that's really weird. I'm like, Ikuhara worked on Sailor Moon, which had a very explicit woman and woman relationship in it. And that was okay. And that was even before Utena. So why was this such a big deal? I guess because it's more explicit and it's just them. Whereas I don't know. Even 8-year-old Romania Black, when I first watched Sailor Moon, and I was like 8 years old, even when we got to Sailor Uranus and Neptune, I was like, they're not cousins. I know I'm close to the Kentucky border, but they're not cousins. I'm like, when an 8-year-old child is like, those characters are dating, I don't think that that's really something that you need to hide anymore, right? I mean, if it's obvious to a kid, you're not fooling anybody. But yeah, I did have somebody in the comments say that they viewed Utena and Anthy as having like a mother-daughter relationship, and I did not know how to process that. I was like, maybe in the initial series, I get that, but in the movie, I don't know any mom and daughters that are naked holding each other on a motorcycle as they zoom off into the unknown. I don't know any relationships with moms and daughters like that. So when I read it, I read it and I'd already watched the movie at that point. I was like, ooh, I don't know if I agree with that. But you know, again, there is no wrong interpretation necessarily, as long as it makes sense. So you are welcome to believe that, but that's interesting. So I definitely could see the play acting it out. So, And then H Banana 7 for episode 38 says they were doing some comparisons saying Mickey letting his stopwatch go shows progress and growth. Akio's dick tower is a sign of adulthood. Utena's duels are child plays, or it could look like playing, but all childhood struggles and duelings are big problems when you're a kid. Plus, you have no idea the purpose of those struggles. And then Anthy is an enigma. H Banana 7 says, it reminds me of my younger self who hated adulthood because adults were so self-righteous and hypocritical. When Utena says she hates that room, I related to her. Yeah, I definitely get the symbolism of, Akio being the hypocritical adult that, and the thing about it is, it's one of those things where when you're a kid, you view adults and you think, oh, they've got it all together. And then when you become adult, you kind of look around the room and go, you all lied. None of you have it together. And we're like, we know. So it's very true, right? I definitely have always gotten the show made it very obvious that the dick tower was the sign of getting to adulthood and the forbidden fruit of adulthood. And we've talked about that with the sex car and what it represents and everything. Man, didn't expect. Do people ship Utena and the sex car? Someone had noted this in the comments as well, and I absolutely agree. Anthy I view as being, and again, this is just my interpretation of Anthy only loving women. She's just forced to be in a relationship with Akio, and she loves him as a sibling, but that's about it. Utena, I kind of view Utena as bisexual. I do, especially after the movie, because she did like Toga. And one of the commenters was like, people often just say that Utena is a lesbian, but she's bisexual. And I'm like, I kind of agree with that. I kind of think she is bisexual. But she just, I could see why people want to make Utena just into women and make it exclusive, because that makes her and Anthy's relationship seem more concrete. But after the movie, I'm like, no, she did kind of like men, so as well, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Validity for bisexuality. But I do think she is bisexual as a character. I do. But, I'm curious to see, out of all of this, what we end up getting with the manga. I have no clue I have no clue. I've luckily been very blind. Some people in the comments were trying over the course of the series to be like, oh, the movie. And just, they said some things where the tone of it, they weren't outright expressing any spoilers, luckily, because I'm glad nobody spoiled me about the movie, because what a trip. But they did make comments like, oh, the movie's a thing. I was like, okay. So luckily it wasn't explicit, but it did give me kind of, going into the movie, a little bit of a vibe of, oh, this might be weird. Nobody said anything about After the Revolution. I'm guessing because a lot of people probably haven't read it since it came out 20 years after the series. So they probably maybe don't even know this exists. So, right, because there is the actual manga, like I have on the shelf over there, of the series, and then this is like an afterward sort of thing. But it's 193 pages, so I'm curious to see Utena in the manga art form. The story and art is done by the mangaka Chiho Saito, so I consider this to be canon. So we'll see what did we end up getting with this. But as always, thank you so much for your comments. Thank you so much for your kind words. Even the comments where people are offering different perspectives or disagreed, for the most part, they've been really respectful and kind, and I've really appreciated that. And thank you for putting up with me, because I know it can be hard when you're watching a reactor and they're not agreeing with you and they're not having it, and you're like, this is my favorite series, why are you trashing it? And I'm like, I'm sorry. So I appreciate you all being kind and courteous about that, because I usually the series on my channel, I'm all about, like, everybody recommends them and I'm just all about. And I honestly think that if I hadn't been so personally affected by the subject matter, I would be a different person about this series. But the experiences I've had have influenced how I engage with it, and so lessons have been learned. But we're going to see what we get out of this. I've talked for 10 minutes. But anyway, thank you so much for your support and kindness. We are going to start Revolutionary Girl Utena After the Revolution, and we're going to do that here in 3, 2, 1. And let's dive in. I'm glad that the cover does not give anything away, because I was like, ugh. But we have, it's just, I love Utena and Anthy are making a heart with their arms. Isn't that cute? I love that. I think that's great. I love it. I love it. I love it. Utena has the white rose from the prince. I like that. You know what? I didn't talk about this in the movie, but Utena's black uniform with the white rose and everything, the black uniform with the red underneath is kind of like Toga's uniform with the all black and the red. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Ooh. I'm curious to see like, oh, and then the little like infinity. So one thing I didn't talk about too much in the movie that in the original show, and we can talk about this in the live stream as well, the time loop elements that were so curious and present in the Mikage arc, they're not really, they weren't after Mikage disappeared. The time loop and like David Lynchian Twin Peaks elements just kind of left. And I think that because I was talking with somebody and they were talking in the Discord about how much they love Twin Peaks, and I love Twin Peaks, and how much they love Utena. And I do like the series, but I will say I feel like a lot of the Lynchian effects that were in the Mikage arc that I was so in love with, once you get past the Mikage arc and you get into the sex drive arc, they kind of go away and they kind of diminish. And the sex car parts are very Lynchian. Especially like with the headlights and stuff, it feels very Black Lodge. But once you get to the castle and it's like the final 3 episodes, there's like not a lot of Lynchian stuff left in that. It's like, that's a whole different style. And that's something I'm kind of sad about, is that the whole time loop thing is kind of just, I mean, I guess they revisit it when things start all over and the remaining cast stay and Anthy leaves and Utena leave. But it just kind of like fell to the wayside, and I was expecting more with the time loop and like more resolution with it. And it's just like, it's like a concept that they just kind of throw out there, but they never have any resolution with it. And that kind of bothered me, because I was like, I don't like, if you're going to leave plot threads open and unfinished, it kind of needs to be acknowledged that they're going to be left open and unfinished to me. Kind of like the spinning top at the end of Inception and stuff like that. But they don't even acknowledge it. They just kind of like, and throw it out. And you're like, are we not going to revisit that? And the answer is no. So just my little side tangent there. Okay. Ooh. All right. The story. Utena Tenjo is a normal teenage girl enamored of princes. In 8th grade, she transfers to Otari Private Academy, a strange and secluded school governed by the mysterious rule of the Rose Seal. At Otari, duels are held between students. To the victor goes the Rose Bride, a shy girl named Anthy, and the Sword of Dios, which holds the power to revolutionize the world. Like, what an opening ceremonies moment, right? To get explained all this. As Utena fights her way through duel after duel, she and Anthy begin living together, and the two become friends. Eventually, Utena becomes the final victor, and she is forced to duel Akio Otari, who is Anthy's brother and the chairman of Otari. Utena fights bravely to rescue Anthy, defeating Akio. But with the close of that final duel, Utena disappears. Anthy, determined to search for Utena, takes her first steps into the outside world. So this is literally taking place after the series, after episode 39. Okay. Utena Tenjo, a student at Otari Private Academy who once idolized princes. After the final duel, she disappears. Anthy Himamiya, the Rose Bride. After the final duel, she leaves to search for Utena in the world outside Otari Academy. Oh, I'm so excited about this. I'm interested. All right, Juri, Arisugawa. I never called her by that name. It was always Juri. Student council member and acting captain of the fencing club. Toga Kiryu, student council president and the biggest flirt on campus. Kyochi Sayonji, student council vice president and captain of the Kendo club. Miki Kaoru, student council member and an accomplished pianist. Kozue Kaoru, Miki's twin sister and a student at Otari. Akio Otari. Oh, wow. Akio has dark hair in this, and it makes him look a little different. Chairman of Otari and Anthy's older brother. So the contents are after the revolution, beautiful thorns, eve of the revolution, whatever happens there, and afterward. Okay. I don't know what that eve of the revolution is, but I guess we'll find out. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, it feels so Sailor Moon. I love like the shoujo style of the 90s. It feels so Sailor Moon. I am all here for it. I love the symmetry, the duality there. It's great. Love. Okay. Oh my god, look at Toga and Saionji. Both of them with the hands on the sword with each other. I'm sorry, with their shirts open, like standing back to back. Excuse me. Excuse me. That's pretty on the nose for me of shipping Saionji and Toga. Oh. Was this painting of boobs? Of boobs and cats, and the cat is precariously positioned right in front of the female genitals there. Next up for bidding is lot 4A, a Picasso nude. Oh, well, it did look kind of like Picasso. Madam HL and cat. Bidding will begin at 6.9 million. Oh, 7.28, 7.8. Do I hear more, Mr. Kiryu? Oh, 8 million. Oh. Oh, and Saionji, 8,002,000, 8.5. Oh, are they older? Is this 10 years? Is this 10 years later? Has Anthy been looking for Utena for 10 years? Girl, you could just find out what hospital she was in, but okay. Okay, interesting. Is Kiryu, does he have like red hair and black hair, or is his hair starting to go gray prematurely? Saionji looks great. They look like 90s BL characters. Oh, well met, old friend. Surprising how often I see you here. Oh, we just happened to go to the same art gallery. Who are you talking to? To think one day we'd wind up competing even here in New York City's auction house. Oh, they're in New York. Oh. I'm a galleriste. I'm here to do the job my clients hire for me, nothing more. Well, funnily enough, so am I! Oh, they're both art gallery representatives? Okay, sure. You guys just happen to know each other, sure. Sorry about earlier. Oh, I noticed you have a different woman on your arm every time. She doesn't understand Japanese. Yes, I do! Oh. He hasn't gotten any less unpleasant over the years. Oh, come on! So Toga's still trying to womanize. Oh, and his hair dyeing is crazy. And Saionji's like, I wish he'd just admit that he's gay. I love that Saionji's like, I wish he'd just admit that he was gay and get with me. Why can't we do that? I mean, I would read and watch a BL with Toga and Saionji being enemies to lovers, and the childhood friends to enemies to lovers, and will they, won't they. I would watch that all day long. I would. Even though it would frustrate me, because I'm like, come on, Toga, just admit that you like Saionji and move on. Just have sex and get it over with. You two, you both want it. So, about your current piece in progress, sir. If you don't mind, the group I represent would be honored to purchase the finished version. Well, of course, we'll happily pay twice any offer. So I like his apartment. He has like or his work studio. He has the plants and the roses and everything. I find it, of course, interesting that they're purchasing art for people and it's of women's nude bodies on display and like objectifying them, even though it's Picasso. Womp womp. We eagerly await word of its completion. Oh, today's mail, sir. Oh. A secret room was discovered under the chairman's manor at Otari Private Academy. The room contained numerous valuable furnishings and art pieces. Could this be an illicit art collection hidden by the former chairman? Oh. Oh, there's a letter. Oh, interesting. You who seek revolution, return to the academy. Oh, interesting. Huh. So Toga got out. They got out of the academy, but why would you go back? I'm sorry, authorized personnel only. The National Tax Bureau auditors, no doubt. Here to seize the collection and assess its value for taxation purposes. And they're making quite a bit of process, too. I've no time to lose. Oh, and of course Saionji's here as well. Of course they're here at the Dick Tower. Why wouldn't they be? I'm so curious, like, what happened with Akio? Why are you here? The same reason as you. Oh, you received that letter as well? Let me guess. You came in through the secret gap in the academy wall. Well, I was on the student council. That gap was not so secret to any of us. You guys gonna go make out somewhere? I was just headed this way to search. Well, really wonderful. I'll go the opposite way. That goes to the stairs leading outside. Okay. I guess I can agree for a truce now. For now. Finding the revolution is more pressing importance. I figured as much. You two are here after the revolution. Womp womp! Although, this could tie to the movie as well, because in the movie, there's all these art pieces, right? So in the movie, they talk about painting and creating art pieces, and there's all the ones of Anthy. It was what, 20 years ago? Oh, wow. The two of us had only recently graduated from the academy when the former chairman committed suicide. Oh, so this is kind of like the movie where Akio commits suicide. Okay, only in a different timeline and context. So he stayed chairman for a little while, for at least a couple years more until they graduated. Or did they automatically get pushed to graduation before he committed suicide? Also 20 years ago, so these guys are like 36. They're my age. They're like 36, 37. Interesting. 20 years and y'all still haven't boned yet? Come on now. So if it's been 20 years, have Anthy and Utena met yet? Because they said they were going to meet in 10 years. All the art he had created immediately shot up in value. His most acclaimed piece, a painting of his younger sister, was put up for auction and went for a high price. But before the winning bidder could claim his prize, it mysteriously vanished. Have you ever seen The Revolution? Nope. Of course, like, that's so true to life that even people that are disgusting and terrible, like, once they die, their possessions get, put up for money in auction and people want it, and it's like, ugh. I don't know. I've seen that happen with artists or people that you find out did really horrible things, and then people want to buy their artwork and stuff, and I'm like, that's kind of creepy and gross. No photos were ever taken of it, let alone any digital image. The internet wasn't much of a thing back then. Wow. So this is really like taking place 20 years later. Like just as the manga came out, this is coming out as well. Interesting. It's a very meta thing. But the other day I got a letter from an unknown sender and it said the revolution is here. I haven't seen it either. Do you think that anonymous sender hid it here? And if so, where on earth is it? I found a photo. Oh, who are they? Oh, wow. That looks like the movie versions. That's my sister and I. Oh, no. Oh, are you a ghost now, Akio, with your sex car? What, don't you recognize me? I was once the chairman of this academy, Akio Otari. The former chairman, I thought you were dead. I did indeed die. Oh, my God. And now I'm a ghost. Yes. Think of me as a ghost. I have a favor to ask you both of you. A favor for a ghost? Was it you who called us here? Someone is after my precious revolution, and I will let no one have it. What I want is for the two of you to keep it safe. You've given us a task? Oh my God. Doing favors for a ghost? Well, okay, so where is it? Well, I cannot say. But if you both do as I ask of you, I will give you the whole of my art collection. Oh, it's my will. Oh my gosh, I love that he has the ghost will just pop up. I don't know. If a ghost popped up a will out of thin air, I think I'd have an attorney check that before I knew the legalities of it. No one has found it yet. It says I bequeath my whole art collection to both of you. Even after all this time, it is still legally binding. All it needs is my signature. A ghost signature? Well. Have I made myself clear? Do as I ask of you, and I will gladly prepare a second copy for you. Well, who's after the revolution? The one who wants to take my precious revolution is oh, is it Anthy? Well, of course, Anthy would want to come back and get the portrait. She's like, I don't want any schmo having a picture of me. Oh, interesting. Well, he vanished. Don't tell me he was really a ghost. Well, of course he is. He was dead. You boobs. Where'd the sword come from? Who threw it? We ought to be the only ones here at this hour. There's a stylized rose relief on the base of the pommel, and it looks familiar. What? Oh no! What are we doing going into this church flashback? So they seem to have forgotten parts and pieces after they graduated, which makes sense. It has a very Peter Pan, like Neverland feel to it, where you forget Like after you leave Neverland, you kind of forget what had happened. So they've forgotten about the duels and everything. But then it's like they remembered the letters and they remembered Akio. So again, make more coherent what is remembered and what is not remembered. And why are they like falling? It's a little silly. What is this? Oh. Oh, interesting. What happened? What is this? What is this? What's with Nanami? What is this? What happened here? They tell Sayonji to go find an adult. And telling Nanami that he'll save her. What happened? Oh, that was a different girl. It's not Nanami. So many children have died. It's a miracle the two of us are still alive. When did this happen? What is this? Rose petals. Toga, what's gotten into you? That way is... Oh. It must be a funeral hall. Well, yes, because everyone died. I don't like it here. Let's leave. Was it a cult meeting? Did they all drink Kool-Aid? What happened? And Sayonji says, don't leave me behind, which we talked in the episodes about him not wanting that. And then this. There's no one else in the room. Why are you the only one in the coffin? So many died. Papa, Mama, everyone. It happened so quickly. They were all swallowed right up. So was there an earthquake or a landslide? And that's what happened? So you're one of the survivors? Why was I the only one to survive? Living is so unpleasant. True. Life is such a frail and unreliable thing. Oh, well, that's a cute ring you're wearing. But in the end, I decided I was going to live. I can't afford to die. Oh! Not now, not after I've seen her. She's trying to support this world all by her lonesome. So, in this, when Toga and Sayonji found her, she had already been talked to by Akio and had already seen Anthy. Huh. The anime doesn't make that very clear, like the timeline of them finding her and what all had happened. So this kind of clears that up. I'm guessing, was there a landslide or something and that's what happened to all of them? They don't make that clear. I have to save her. And I'm going to become a prince. A prince? Yes, I'm going to become a prince and rescue her and revolutionize the world. Well, is this blending? Are you in a hospital or are you in Akio's planetarium? Because we established this was all an illusion by his projector. Or was it all a dream? Or was it all a dream? It seems like it was all a dream. Okay. That makes a little more sense. A lightning strike? What a weird dream. A castle in the sky and it fell towards me? Again, y'all, why are you forgetting things and not remembering them when you clearly remembered them before? I guess that's part of it, but it's like, but they remembered the letter and they remembered Akio, so they don't remember anything else, but unless it's convenient for them to remember. Come on now. Was there a girl in the coffin? Yes, surrounded by roses. She said she'd become a prince and revolutionize the world. And we had the same dream? How is that even possible? That's a very good question. Yes, the both of us did meet once a strange and mysterious girl on that day. But why would we dream of her now at the same time? Your phone. Why did Sayonji have that reaction? So your piece is complete? Wonderful. I would love to view it in person tomorrow. Excellent. Hey, that call was from the artist who goes by the pen name Reem, right? Don't tell me you're actually purchasing his works. I am. Is there a problem with that? Well, yes, a big one. That man is a criminal and a pervert. He kidnapped children and abused them. A person with no person with a conscience should ever touch his work with a 10-foot pole. Oh wow, look at Sayonji being respectable. That was in the past. What? Well, no, it's not. He hasn't reformed in the least. I know. I investigated him. He went back to it because people wanted his art. He changed his name and opened up an art school so he could collect more children. Well, take a look at his most recent work. It's as clear as day. He's back to his old and wicked ways. I don't know. I don't know if this is supposed to lead us into some revelation about him, but for right now, I'm kind of on Saionji's side with this. Like, if this man is, you know, making artwork of kidnap and abused children, Toga, I don't know if I'd get in on that. That seems a bit wrong. I'm kind of with Saionji right now. So what if he is? Well, Toga, he's a criminal. He doesn't deserve to create art. Great art has always been birthed from the forbidden. Ooh, uh-oh. And what counts as criminal is subjective. Ooh, uh-oh. It shifts and changes with the prevailing opinions of the times. Ooh, uh-oh. Our job is to find that art which deserves to be preserved for future generations. That's it, nothing more. And his art will, without a doubt, be extremely valuable one day. Oh, I'm going to hardcore disagree with you, Toga. I'm going to hardcore disagree with you. Toga sounds like a YouTube commenter that's trying to, like, justify child pornography. That sounds wrong. I don't care. Honestly, yeah, I don't care if you're saying, I'm like, preserving art for the future. Why is art of child pornography worth preserving for the future? Like, if you're making art of abused children, that's not worth preserving for a future audience. I'm sorry. It's not. Nope. Nope. I do think that when Saionji says that somebody that's done something bad doesn't deserve to create art, I do understand why Toga would take offense to that, because he's probably projecting his own, like, oh, because I've done something bad, I don't deserve to have happiness. Like, I get that argument where it's like, oh, just because you've done bad in the world doesn't mean you don't deserve the right to reform and become a better person and deserve love and happiness. Sure. But if you're a terrible person and you keep being terrible without any reflection or reform, that's where I kind of am like, well, now wait a minute. Now wait a minute. And this isn't just like, oh, I robbed a bank. This is, I'm doing pictures of children I've abused and kidnapped and have put in compromising situations. No, I think Toga's in the wrong on this one. I'm not here for it. No. And then great art's been birthed from the forbidden. Well, that is a subjective line. That's filled with so many potential fallacies in it. I'm like, oh, you can't just say a generalized statement like that and justify with it. Saionji says, you disappoint me, Toga. I thought you were better than that. That isn't art. It's for nothing but money. Toga this and Toga that. You're still the same as you were when we were children, Saionji. Oh, I do agree, because Saionji's like, you only want this because you think it's going to be worth money. You're not thinking of the effects it's having on the people that are involved in it. And I'm with that. I won't let you have the revolution. You're the last person in the world who deserves it. Oh my God, Saionji. And of course we're going to fight. And then, oh my God, the dueling arena, of course, shows up. Why wouldn't it? Are we back in that dream? This place seems familiar somehow. Oh my God, it's a dueling ground. And we're in our dueling uniforms with the roses on our breasts. Yes, we are. I guess there's nothing but for us to duel. I love that they finally remember and they're like, question? Why? No, just duel. Just duel. What you're doing is wrong, Toga. Don't you remember what we swore the day we learned all those children had died? What you're doing now betrays that oath. It betrays the children. It's a betrayal of life itself. Life itself. Life is frail and unreliable. If it's just going to fade and vanish anyway, I'd rather transform ephemeral life into immortal art. You've dedicated your life to art. How can you deny that? Look, I don't understand why this is so hard, Toga. He's just saying, don't support a man who's making child pornography into art. Like, why is this so hard to get? Like, no, that is not the same. What is wrong with you? Oh my God. The castle from the dream. And what are these rose petals? What is this? Oh! Hi, Utena! Why are you here? You who seek Revolution. Return to the academy. What is this? Why is she here? What? Is this an illusion? Are you the girl from that day? It was you who called us here. The power to revolutionize the world. Why is she at the academy? Is she a ghost? What are these poses? What is this? Why is Utena the one giving them the rings? If she's not supposed to be there and denounce the idea of the prince. Did we just have the same dream again? No. She became a prince. Are you crying? No. I mean, she did want to become a prince, but to save Anthy. But I don't know if her becoming a prince was really to keep the cycle of the revolution going. That seems kind of counterintuitive to the last episode's themes, but okay. The rose emblem from the sword's pommel and the ring are the same. Perhaps it was that girl who threw the sword at the chairman's ghost. It could be. I could see Utena being the one to throw the sword. There's a hole where the sword was stuck in the wall and I can see something past it. Damn, is there no door there? We'll pry it open with the sword. Let me help. We'll both push on my signal, all right? The power to revolutionize the world. Well, I'm glad Saionji and Toga have let their squabbles go aside to open the door. Oh. What is this place? It's a bedchamber of sorts. It's the chairman's room. Oh. That's the painting of Anthy. The revolution. Oh, and then there's Akio's ghost. The chairman's ghost. I'll let no one take my revolution. I'll keep it here in my world forever. Didn't you just say you were trying to get them to find it? I guess he's a ghost. Why didn't he just go through the wall and find it? You told them to take it. What? What? Oh no, Saionji. Why do you refuse my bargain? No matter, now you'll discover the fate that befalls fools. I thought their whole thing was to help him find the painting, and now he did. Now he's calling them out for it? What? What? That don't make no damn sense. I do like the idea of Toga asking Utena for help, but I don't know if I quite agree with Utena's ghost or spirit being the one to give them the rings. That seems counterintuitive to the whole series. What? And what is this? Oh, he struck Akio. Toga gets to be... I mean, Toga striking Akio is interesting because of everything that Akio kind of put Toga through, but we're not going to address that. That's all it took? Okay, cool. Saionji, are you all right? Can you stand? Oh, what's this? Oh, it changed the painting. Did the power of gay love do it because he went and grabbed Saionji to help him up? Is that what happened? Did the power of gay love change the photo? We defeated misogyny. And now it's these two together. Aww. I mean, that is really pretty. That is really pretty. Oh. Now I see the girl from before. This is what she meant. The painting vanished. What on earth was that? I think. What? The prince came to rescue the girl in the painting. We may have been called here simply to give her a hand. Here, lean on my shoulder. Well, stop that. That's creepy. No, lean. Oh, Prince, huh? I like that Toga had this revelation. Now he's like, I'm totally fine with you, Saionji. And Saionji's like, all this repressed energy. He's like, what? Why are we doing this now? This is really sweet. And I like this adventure being about Toga and Saionji. The logic of it has a few holes. A few little holes. It's just a vibe, I guess. We're just, I like Sonji, like, wait, are we going to keep talking about how you're supporting a pervert? No. What? That's what it means to have the power to revolutionize the world. I guess these are going to be vignettes because the next page shows Juri and Shiori. I guess these are going to be just maybe snippets of afterwards, like little vignettes, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with. I thought it was going to be like a whole thread, but I'm fine with this being just stories about the three of them. So Saionji and Toga got over their repressed homosexuality through the power of realizing that Utena, they can conquer misogyny by true love, but it's fine. That was a very strange story. And we're just not going to touch the conversation about the weird artist that Toga's supporting again. We're going to let that go. I'm glad that Saionji and Toga seem to be like starting a relationship though. I'm glad that seems to be canon. Good. Good for them. Oh, Juri looks so good in this. And with Shiori, what is this? Ooh. Beautiful thorns. Wow. And there's Shiori as the Rose Bride and Juri and Ruka behind her. Interesting. Oh, wow. And Kaoru and Kozue. Ooh, Kozue in the suit with the bow tie? Yes, please. Yes, please. Oh, I'm here for it. Oh, wow. Is this going to be... I mean, Kozue with the suit looks like she's about to play piano, but she also looks amazing. Love that. Is this going to be from the movie where Juri's drowning? And in the movie, Toga saves her. Is Ruka going to be the one to save her in this? Oh. What is she not forgiving? What? Who saved her? It's a darker hand, so is it like Akio? I don't know. Since Akio and Anthy are the only people of color in this series. I mean, I say that. I know that they're all Japanese, but Akio and Anthy are the only darker complected people in the series. Oh. Oh, wow. Interesting. Because her scar. Huh. I have a bad feeling. Oh, man. The Fencing World Cup 2000. Oh, is this 2000? And they conveniently cut out if it's 2011 or 2017. I think it's 2011. Yeah. The Hinomiya Cup. Oh, sure thing. Is that supposed to be a play on Himamiya? Juri Arisugawa wins. As a former... Oh, there's Mickey in the crowd. As a former medalist, Juri is far and away one of the best and active fencers. There's no doubt she'll win this tournament. And she's reached the finals. Oh, is it Shiori? Or is it someone else? Oh, man. I didn't know how fencing matches were in Japan, so this is interesting to see them like in an arena like this, and they're tethered. Curious. Oh, no, another lightning strike. Oh, a blackout. The lightning must have struck. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the match is postponed. Arena equipment has been damaged by the lightning strike, so rendering it impossible to continue the tournament this time. The finals will be rescheduled for a future date. Oh, a rematch. Juri. Oh, you're a man. You lucked out, but things will not go so well for you next time. And she's like, aren't you dead? I've never heard of this fencer before. To think there was someone this good who's still unknown. I like that Mickey's with her. That man. What are you talking about, Juri? Of course your opponent was a woman. What? What? Interesting. Okay, let's get this shoot started. Miss Juri, turn your gaze this way. Yeah, just like that. Oh, good. Beautiful. Okay, change into her next outfit. Move to the greenhouse next. Everything is ready, sir. So is she still in high school and is just a model, or are they at the academy for the photo shoot for some reason? I mean, it was the finals, so I guess she's maybe a third year when this is going on. Wow, that outfit is crazy. The lace up thigh-high boots that are open-toed, thigh-high lace-up boots. Girl, the fashion. Also, this looks very Rose of Versailles, just from what I've seen of Rose of Versailles. Wow, so in the birdhouse in the garden, and at Mikage's studio with the hand signs that are still there. That's great. I won't wear that one. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention, no outfits that expose too much décolletage, please. We want to take care not to damage her regal image as the queen of fencing. How odd. Why did my opponent appear as a man? And of all people, that man. It's starting to rain. That's a wrap for today. Thank you all for coming. A photo shoot at Otari Academy. It's been so long. Okay, so they do remember being here. So this is in the future again. And they're just going back here for a photo shoot randomly. This is where it all began. Your record, victory streak, everything. Oh, I love Shiori's with her. And Shiori looks super cute. Otari is the home of so many memories for the both of us. Well, apparently they can remember everything, even though Toga and Saionji cannot. That finals match, I would have lost. What? These are the stats from my matches for the last 5 years. The average time from start of the match to when I score my first touch. Average time for my opponent to score their first touch on me. The last 2 years are particularly bad. Although I did manage to win every time, I mostly evaded my opponent's blade until time expired. What are you trying to say? It's time. I'm going to retire. Well, you're going to quit fencing. I love this. This became a sports anime. It's only a matter of time until I embarrass myself. I need to make a dignified exit now. I knew this was coming. You haven't been answering my calls very recently. Or are they going to have a breakup? So I guess now is the time to tell you the truth. What? The truth? Well, what are you doing here? Shiori, did you bring him? What are you talking about? Juri, I'm going to be the agent for someone new, someone besides you. We've been in talks for days now. Yes, she's been quite a help. Is this Ruka? Or is this just a ghost? And Shiori's saying, hey, I've got a new agent now. I'm going to be working for someone else. I was looking for a competent manager. Well, no, don't. Anyone but him. Is that Ruka? How dare you? Yeah, I guess it is. How dare you come back after all this time? What are you really after? Well, Juri, stop it. If you're going to behave like that, it makes me all the more determined. Does Shiori know that he's there with her? Because it looks like she's just walking off, like she's weirded out by Juri, and she doesn't see Ruka standing there. Also, isn't Ruka like a ghost? Isn't he dead? Shiori, don't go. I need you. I really thought they were dating, and then, ever since our days here so long ago, I've been in love with you. Wow, they just come out and like, there is no question. Oh, wow, look at her little braids. Shiori was a princess. A beautiful princess from another world. I, on the other hand, was ugly. That is the most false statement in this entire series. Juri is anything but ugly. No one would ever turn my way, let alone fall with someone as plain, in love with someone as plain as I. I love watching fencing. To me, the best fencers are like elegant princes. The princess was in love with princes. They glitter and shine so. Of course she would be. Well, wait a minute. That's it. I'll just become a prince. So, wow. So basically, Juri is like, also like Utena, except different, because Utena's whole thing was to become a prince to save Anthy from a child predator. And Juri's is to win the affection of this princess. So it's a little bit different. I want to be strong. I won again and again. And finally, wow, marvelous. You're strong and brave as a prince. I think that's wonderful. Shiori sees me, and she called me a prince. Juri, let me introduce you to my fiancé, Ruka Tsuchiya. Shiori and I were betrothed at the age of 7. I saw your match. Well done, fiancé. He's a fencer too. Then it's already been decided. Shiori's prince is this Ruka fellow. No matter how hard I try, no matter what I feel. This is definitely different than the anime, because in the anime, Shiori was not engaged to Ruka. She liked some other guy when they were in, grades below what they were in the series. And then Ruka is somebody that she claims to like, but it's just like a front because she doesn't want to admit her feelings for Juri. Oh, I dropped it here. Where is it? Oh, I love her little suspenders. That's cute. Oh, I guess that's her training outfit because he's wearing the same thing. Oh. Give it back. It's very important to me. Well, you can have it once you catch me. Oh my god, what? You're lacking in speed. Oh my god, quit teasing her. You're engaged to this person she likes. Come on now. It's not fair. That man, I'll never forgive him. I hate his guts. I wish he'd disappear from Shiori's life forever. I wish he'd completely disappear. Oh, the day of the rematch. Oh, good luck, Juri. Give your best. I'm sure you'll win. Thanks. I like that Mickey's just there for support, and she's like, I'm not going to be outdone, especially by him. And Mickey's like, him? Are you hallucinating again, girl? It's time I'll put an end to this, and I won't let you defeat me. I refuse to allow it. Oh, I do love the way that Saito draws the figures of them. It's so good. Oh, another lightning strike. Why is it? It can't be a coincidence. It's not. It was deliberate. I summoned you here. She's like, why? Why are we getting summoned back, you ghost? What on earth is this? Am I dreaming? How is this possible? Why do they forget that? Let's continue. Well, this is a real sword. What's going on? Shiori wishes to see our dispute settled. Don't dilly-dally. Shiori! The kind of person I like is strong and honorable, just like a prince. Wow, okay. Interesting. Oh. Oh. Oh, it cut her suit there. I have to protect the rose. That was unfair. I can't do it. I can't win. But I won't let him have Shiori. I hate him. I hate him so much I wish he'd go away and disappear from my life forever. Oh, wow. And he has like the sword at her neck. Give me the power of a prince. Why is Utena dropping down as the prince? It's the ring of a prince. What? Oh. Oh, so Shiori had fell. Oh. Why was Shiori leaning against the water girl? What you doing? I'll be a prince and rescue her. Oh. I will never forgive you. You can't give up here. Your life's only just begun, so don't die. Oh. Oh, so in this version, yeah, Ruka's the one that died to save her. Oh. Interesting. Did he know that Shiori... Did he think that Shiori liked Juri and that's why he saved her? Or did he save her because he was a prince and that was the thing for princes to do? Interesting. Why did he do that for me? Because he's a prince. And we're back to we're here looking at her in the coffin. I'd met him before and he spoke to me about you. He told me how you would practice fencing on a riverbank where no one could see, working yourself to exhaustion. He said he liked and admired you for it, and he wanted to help you. So I gave him this ring. And he also told me, Lily, the goddess of battle, cut off her right breast so she could draw the most powerful bow. Juri, you are beautiful. Like Lily, you are the goddess of battle. Oh, well, thank you, Ruka. I know of no greater compliment anyone could give me. What? I have to go. There's a girl I have to meet. I like that Utena's like, I gotta go get Anthy, so you all just take care of this. This match, I will give my all. Okay, well, she won. Oh, that's not him, it's a woman. Ah! It's the pendant Ruka took from me. When did it reappear? What? There's something engraved under the lid. Did Ruka add this? What does it say? Bitch, what does it say? You better show us. Oh, congratulations, Juri. I had faith that you would win in the end. You truly shone out there like you always do, like a prince. Sure, you said saying things like that so often, and every time it gives me strength. Well, are you really going to quit fencing? I think you could easily keep going. I'll stop fighting for you, yes. All these years. Okay. All these years, I fought for both the sake of Ruka, who died saving me, and because I wanted to be a prince who protected you. But no more from now on. Yes, I finally understand now. I simply enjoy battle, but that's all. That's enough for me. Juri, this morning for the first time in a long time, I dreamed of Ruka. What? He walked up to you and said, thank you for finding me and for watching and thank you for watching over me, or something like that. Then he turned and walked away with a smile. Fight, Juri. That was nice. It's definitely a different context than the anime, because in the anime, they hinted at in the last episode that it was maybe Ruka that saved her or whatnot in the series. In the movie, it's Toga. But, which is funny because Shiori has a thing with Toga in the movie, and here she has the thing with Ruka. But it's fine. Of course, it's Revolutionary Girl Utena, so we have to do like these weird abstract things that don't quite logically make sense, but we're going to make them work because plot says we need to make them work. But I do love Juri. Juri and Shiori, the episodes with them were some of my favorite, because especially with Ruka in the anime. Here, it's a little simplistic and kind of cliche, so I'm like, and also Thunderdome. But I do like... And then the stuff with Shiori walking away doesn't quite get resolved in the end. Again, it's like the stuff with Toga and Saionji and the stuff with Shiori and Ruka's ghost. It's like needless drama that doesn't connect to the final point of the vignette. So it just kind of gets dropped, and it's like, well, what? You're not going to do anything with that and have them have a conversation about that anymore? Okay. So, but it's fine. Oh, so the eve of the revolution is possibly with Mickey and Kozue? Interesting. Otari Academy alumni party. Oh, so this is all them going back? They're having like a class reunion? Isn't that Mickey Kaoru over there? Oh, the famous pianist. An honor to hear one of his performances live. Mickey looks great. You heard the end of the piece. What are you talking about? Oh, don't play innocent. It was at the Atari Academy alumni party last night. I heard you playing piano there. You finally completed that piece. Oh, that he's been working on throughout the show. I was at home all... I was at home all last night. Hey now, Mr. Famous Pianist. Then who do you say I heard last night? There's only one person who could possibly play that piece, let alone its completion. You. Was it Kaoru or was it Kozue posing as him? Could it be her posing as him to finish it? This piece isn't complete yet. Not yet. It's been a work in progress for ages. I can't play the rest of the piece. I can't find the notes to make it whole. You said someone played it in its entirety. It couldn't be. At the Atari Academy Hospital? Oh, we don't have just a nurse's station. We have a whole damn hospital. How is Kozue, doctor? Your sister's condition is the same as always. The nurses made the usual checks last night. They didn't notice anything odd. What? I don't trust anybody in this academy. She hasn't shown any signs of waking then. What? How long has she been in a coma? How long has it been? You've been in a coma for years? The doctors say there's no telling when you may. What? Why was she in a coma? What happened? Why is there dirt on the blanket? And her feet being dirty? What? Is she sleepwalking in a coma? I don't think people can do that. I don't think people in comas can sleepwalk. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But I don't think that's how this works. Okay. Is she asleep? Is she sleepwalking? She's headed from the hospital courtyard to the gardens of the academy proper. Kozue, where are you going? The music hall. Oh, I like that Mickey like waits to see as she undresses and puts on the uniform that's Mickey's. It's the continuation. And lightning's gonna strike because of course it's gonna strike. Oh my god. Why is Utena the prince ghost like Akio? That's so weird. And taking the flashlight. Well, who are you? Are you okay, miss? Did something terrible happen? I've been sullied. Well, how so? For so long I've been in love with Mickey. But he's my twin brother. I couldn't help myself that night. What? What? I know that in Japan, incestuous relationships are not as taboo as they are in Western environments. And look, if you're going to tell me that like cousins getting married and stuff is okay, you do you. But twin siblings that came out of the same womb together? What? I thought I could live like that, but oh wow. I do love her 90s bridal dress with the giant flowers on it. That's actually gorgeous. Would wear that in a heartbeat. But her with this random dude. Why didn't you use the umbrella? Why is it late? What's happening? Also, Mickey with the robe. Mickey looks amazing with the adult, as being an adult with the robe. He looks great. That's the best he's ever looked. Why are you in an abusive relationship, girl? That's not good. That's no good. Did he do this to you? He's so angry. He says he knows I'm in love with another man. Oh my god. What? That's awful. So every night he ties me to the bed and then Mickey, what should I do? Well, let me talk to him. Violence is utterly unacceptable. Well, good on you, Mickey, for being like, no, I'm not going to have that. Oh, Mickey. Girl. I mean, one, Mickey looks amazing here as an adult. Looks great. Two, that sucks that you're in an abusive relationship with this guy. That's not cool. You should end that. But three, I don't know if you being in love with your brother is something that's like going to be a sustainable thing. Am I not good enough? Well, no, you're his sister. Because I've been defiled. Well, no, that's not it, but we're twins. We can never. Mickey's not in the wrong on this. He's like, look, I'm going to get you some help, girl, but we can't be together. We're twins. That's weird. It's too much. I'm not allowed to be honest with my heart. Goodbye, Mickey. What? Girl. Mickey needs to find her some therapy. Why halt her story? Well, because there's no need to dig up that old memory. It should be buried in the depths of our hearts until it's forgotten. Well, I don't agree with that. I think that, as we know, repressing things is sometimes not a good thing. No, you need to work through it and move forward, not repress it. But her time stopped in that moment. It hasn't moved forward since then. That's true. It's the last time we spoke. After that, I received a phone call saying she'd fallen asleep and wouldn't awake. Her husband, well, I guess he couldn't be bothered anymore. He signed the hospital paperwork and then simply vanished. Since that night, Kozu's been in a coma. I like he's shining the phone light on Utena. I mean, I'm glad that the abusive husband is gone. That's not cool at all. But also, like, I feel kind of bad for Mickey and Kozue. I feel bad for Kozue because she was abused and she needs help. But I feel bad for Mickey because he's like, I can't be with you romantically. You're my twin sister. What? What am I supposed to do? Yeah, just what do you expect me to do? I can't do anything. Oh. Did my phone battery die? Well, who's doing that? Who's there? Who's attacking me? A sword, where did this come from? We'll solve all our problems with duels. Why are you doing this? Where are we? Admit it, you abandoned me. Well, no, I did what I thought was best for you. You lie, you were only thinking of yourself. Look, he should have helped you more with your husband in an abusive relationship, but he shouldn't date you just because you want him to date you. That's not fair. If he doesn't consent to it, he doesn't consent to it, girl. You're being selfish in that regard. He's like, I do love you. Enough of your empty platitudes. I'm like, girl, this one is so weird. Like, Mickey has done some things wrong with the situation of how he handled it, but also, girl, if he doesn't consent to loving you, you can't make him love you. That's not fair. What the fudge? And then Utena comes down like a damn angel. Who are you? On the surface, the world is nothing but empty platitudes. It keeps its truth hidden underneath. Oh my God, girl, you sound like a YouTube commenter. Stop, stop. Pain, suffering, good, bad. All of that together in this world. Now tell her your truth. My truth? Oh, I remember now. I've met you before. It was that day. Oh. What is this? Everyone is gone. To think something like that could actually happen. Mickey, I can't feel the melody anymore. It's been taken away. Because Mom and Papa, the ones who kept it safe, won't ever come back. We've lost the notes that guide us. So I guess they all died too in this landslide or accident or earthquake or something that's not been described. And then Utena comes in here. There's a girl who hasn't given up on the world. I like that Utena goes to all these people in the past and is like, hey, I gotta go save somebody, but I'm just popping in. And I gotta go meet her. Hasn't given up yet. Oh. I remember you're the girl from then. For the longest time, I thought that it had been a dream, but now I see. It was thanks to you I found the strength to continue playing piano. Oh, I'm sorry, I have to go. The girl I'm looking for is waiting for me. Please guide me once again. I don't know where to go to from here. Let me hear the next part of the melody. Well, that's why you're here? All this just to make the two of us play piano again? Mickey, where am I? What am I doing here? She broke out of her coma just in time. Let's find the next notes of that melody. We can look together. I'm sure there's meaning in just the search. Womp! It's all right. I'm here with you. But we're not going to resolve the incest plot. We're not going to communicate or talk about it. All of these stories are like, we have this very kind of maybe problematic thing we should address, but we're not going to end up addressing it. We're just going to help Utena go find Anthy and then just let it be. I was like, this seems like we should talk about this. Why are we leaving this unresolved? Okay. They do look great there. By the way, the artwork, Saito's artwork is great. What are we to each other? Is there something wrong with my heart? Is it broken? What happens now? What will become of us? Let's not worry about it anymore. We can rack our brains as much as we like, yet it isn't as if the result will change. In which case, let's keep going just as we are. We'll keep living to reach out, to reach those who reach out to us, because that's what we are to each other. Is still evolving. We're still walking a path of change and growth. That is like the most pageantry answer of we're not going to address the incest right now. We'll just work it out. We'll feel it out. See if we're into it later. What? I'm glad that Utena reached her, though. Very Abbey Road there. Who are you? Well, I'm the one who's come to find you. Cute. Cute. I do like that. I do like that. No matter what kind of future it may be, I will always find you. We're not alone. Okay. I love that, but okay. And now it's the afterword? That's it? Okay, I want to read this afterward. About a year ago, the idea of doing something for both Utena's 20th anniversary and my 35th anniversary as a writer, the editorial department came to me and asked what I thought of doing a new Utena manga. So that's what they said. What do you think, director? Can you do it? I can't think of a single story idea, to be honest. Well, maybe you could put together 16 pages or so. Well, that's an awfully thin manga volume. Though that's the way our discussion went. The decision for the new Utena manga still went through. Well, if we do have to do it, why not make it a good and proper story you can really sink your teeth into? We'll have to work on this and Torikabaya at the same time, you know. I'm really already busy already, so maybe 60 pages or so? Cheers! 20 years later, I can sort of picture what Toga, Saionji, maybe Juri might be like, but what about Utena and Anthy? Utena and Anthy, but older. Do you think that's something that people who grew up loving them would want to see? I don't particularly want to see them old, no. Well, I mean, they're only in their 30s. They ain't that old. Oh my God. Why don't you want to draw them? So, you know, instead of a story that neatly wraps everything together, I want one that opens up and allows for all kinds of possibilities. At first, we were going to do a single short story, but that soon turned into 3 short stories that could be compiled into a manga volume. The same character designs, just 20 years older. I don't know. I think about Toga as a long-haired businessman. What about that? Well, I don't really like the idea of 13-year-old Mickey just aged up as is. What about something like this? Well, no, we can't change the character designs. If they aren't the same as before, everyone will say that it isn't Utena. Oh, but it won't be Utena if we don't make the show the world of Utena again. And so, at the end of a long process of trial and error, we created these 3 short stories. I'd be happy if you found them at least a little entertaining. That line there says, like, we tried our best. Don't judge us. I did find them at least a little entertaining. Oh! After the revolution, there have been many losses in our world. Some say to focus only on the future, but forgetting ignoring loss is not the way to reach it. Loss is a part of life, and we are still alive. The prince, the rose bride, the end of the world, they were equally precious to me. Thank you for finding Revolutionary Girl Utena in this world. Kunihiko Ikuhara. Wow, okay. Huh. So she's fairly, Chiyo Saito is fairly older if she debuted in 1982. So she's fairly older. I'm a little bit frustrated that she didn't want to draw Lieutenant Anthy in the future. What? Okay. Be that way. I don't mind this, honestly. I don't mind the after the revolution, and I kind of get where Saito's coming from, because from her perspective, she's over here like, look, you want me 20 years later to write a story about these characters that I've kind of moved on from and moved forward with? Okay. I loved the Juri and Ruka and Shiori one was interesting. I really liked it. I thought it was very intriguing. And it kind of just doubles down on the themes from the series. That one felt the most canon to me. It felt the most solid out of the 3 of them, because it feels like it connects the most to the episodes and kind of ties back. Because Juri and Shiori's relationship is so complicated, and there's a lot of gray areas there. So I really liked it. Mickey and Kozue. The problem with Mickey and Kozue, at least in Juri and Shiori's short story, it's fairly cohesive, like from start to finish. There's a little bit of convolutedness, but Juri having the hallucination of it being Ruka, it all makes sense in the end, and it all ties together, and there's little parts and pieces of that short story where you know she's hallucinating, and Shiori's just like, what's wrong with you? The Mickey and Kozue one, it's very straightforward. I don't care for how in the Mickey and Kozue one and in the Toga and Saionji one, they both bring up kind of like taboo and weird topics to discuss, like the incest and then Toga supporting a child predator painter. And then they just bring them up and then they just kind of like abandon that conversation. And they're just like, well, Utena helped us in the end. And I'm like, also, maybe I'm wrong and I did not, but the whole point of episode 39 is to me, Utena rejecting the idea of the prince and realizing that you can't be a prince and save someone. They have to save themselves. And the most you can do is support them and love them unconditionally and, you know, offer up your support and hope that it reaches them. But you can't just do things for them and make them act a certain way. And so for Utena to show back up as the prince spirit in this feels kind of like what Akio wanted to happen in a way. And I don't know. It's weird. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, I'm glad that Utena gets to reach Anthy and save her, like in the last few panels. Like that part's really nice. And I'm kind of torn because there's a part of me that really wanted to see in this after the revolution, I wanted to see Utena and Anthy meet up 10 years later with the tea and to be connected again and see what that was going to be like, because the movie didn't give us that. And I don't know, maybe the manga will give us that. We'll see. But there's a part of me that wanted to see it just as closure, because episode 39 doesn't really give you closure in terms of that. But then there's another part of me that likes that it's ambiguous and likes that it's open-ended and likes that we don't know what that reunion is going to be like, but we can imagine it and we can think for ourselves what that would be like and then move forward from that. And we don't get like that concrete resolution. There's a part of me that feels both ways. There's a part of me that wanted to see it, and then there's a part of me that respects that Saito's like, no, I'm not going to show you that. You figure it out for yourself. I don't want to draw it. You figure it out for yourself. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, support your characters more, but I get why you don't want to show us it. And then Toga and Saionji, like, I feel like they're so canon. They just are like a damn BL, just going around and around the bush and not addressing it directly. Come on now. So yeah, this was okay. This was good. I feel like a lot of stuff though is, and maybe it was the translation of the text, a lot of it feels kind of, I'm going to say this phrase and I don't know if it's going to make sense, but surface deep is a term. Like when Utena's ghost shows up to educate Kozue and Mickey, being like, on the surface world, the world is nothing but empty platitudes. It keeps its truth hidden deep underneath. I said YouTube commenter because I've noticed, especially in this series, there have been some people comment things that I'm like, yeah, that's kind of obvious. And just like, it just feels very much like, I don't want to say the word pretentious, but there are some people in YouTube comments that they comment like they're Nostradamus spouting this in this like infallible wisdom. And you're just like, okay, cool, neat. Like the whole thing about her, like empty platitudes and stuff. I'm like, pain, suffering, good, bad, all of it is together in the world. And we're like, no shit, Sherlock. So it's just kind of like one of those comments. It's like, it's spouting this deep wisdom, but it actually doesn't really go deep. It just says like surface level stuff you read out of a psychology textbook. I'm just like, okay, I don't know. And that's just me growing up and going to school in like an academic environment, that I met people like that in college that were just like, they would use words like facetious and casual conversation. You just be like, your eye would twitch. And you're like, oh, you're that person. Okay. So, you know, just not being real, you know? And so, I don't know. I got that vibe sometimes with Utena's spirit showing up to help them. And some of the like it makes me appreciate Ikuhara a little bit more, because the writers alongside Ikuhara, and I think Inoshido, is that his name? The writer who does the screenplay, I really think that they kind of elevated the dialogue and elevated some of the context in the series, because there are some really deep layered discussions that do kind of like make you go, oh my gosh, yeah, hadn't thought of it that way before. That's really deep and wow, insightful. And I want to talk about that more. And it's not just saying like surface level things, you know, and maybe it's just the translation here, but some of it I was like, okay, we'll say Mickey looks amazing as an adult. He looks great. good for Mickey. Like, Saito draws him so good. And Toga and Saionji look amazing as well. Juri, of course, looks gorgeous. I love that. I really like Saito's artwork. Their artwork is beautiful. I love the style. It's so 90s shoujo. It's all so good. I love all the doodles and the drawings with it. It's just great. And the anatomy. The artwork's beautiful in this. I love it. And I love the vibes. It's just, if you are expecting something as deep and layered as the TV series, it's a little lacking there. If you're wanting something as bonkers and wild and creative as the movie, it's a little lacking there. But this was fun. This was a weird way to end Utena for me. So I definitely want to check out the manga in my own time, come back and talk to you all about it when we do the live stream. And then we can talk about all parts and pieces. So I'll be curious to know, when we do the live stream, like, which is your favorite? Do you like the movie? Do you like the series? Do you like the manga? Like, which is the best version of Utena for you? Because I don't know. To me, it's hard because I would say it's half of the TV series and it's the movie, but I haven't looked all at the manga yet to know for sure. But I do like Toga and Saionji walking by hand in hand at the end. It's great. And the idea that they subvert the painting from being a nude one of Anthy to being Utena and her clothed together, like with each other, is really nice. I like that. That's great. So what an interesting and weird. The one thing I will say before we round this out is that the one aspect of this series that just irks me a little bit is that sometimes characters remember things, sometimes they don't. It's just very convenient to whenever the plot needs them to remember things. And it's writing like that makes me go, that could be done a little better. But that's just me being a snob and a nitpick. So anyway, Revolutionary Girl Utena, I will say, like I said for the movie, this series is very foundational. I feel as if it has influenced so much over the years. And the good thing about influences is that people usually take those and then they draw from them and then they make things even better in the future. So that's always what you want. You always want progress. You want to take something and incorporate it into your own work and make your own work better to keep that progress train moving. And I appreciate Revolutionary Girl Utena and the doors that it's opened. The discussion it's had about sex and consent, and it goes into dark places that I don't think shows were willing to do at the time. And it does so in a way that was very mainstream and to bring up. And I feel like things were altered because of it. So somebody's got to be the first to do it. And I applaud Revolutionary Girl Utena for that. I have softened my views on episode 39 since I watched it. So I do feel better about that, but I am glad that I watched Revolutionary Girl Utena. I know the last part of the series, it may not have seemed like I have enjoyed it, but I have. I don't regret watching it. I'm glad that I have. I'm glad that I've gotten to see this story. There have been parts and pieces of it that have really struck with me, and I really love them. And the movie was absolute batshit crazy, and I kind of loved it. So anyway, I'm curious to know what you all think of this manga that happened 20 years later, and if you think this was just Saito fulfilling a cash grab. No, they don't make enough money for it to be a cash grab, for sure. But if this was just Saito doing obligations, or what you think about the stories, I'm very curious to know your honest opinion about this After the Revolution volume, because it is pretty wild. So I will, in the May update video, talk about when we're doing a live stream in May. So I always talk in my update videos about what the reaction schedule for the month is planning to be. So check those out. But in the meantime, I'll be checking out your comments, making notes for it, and we'll go from there. So I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe. Take care. And yeah, I'll see you all again. We have a new series starting next week. So it's already been decided. It's on the April update video. So go check that out. But I'll be back next week with an all new series of reactions. Bye.